Yeah. So welcome to the demo on Terraform, and thank you for joining. So I'll quickly introduce myself. My name is Santosh. Overall, I've got 14 plus years of experience in IT. Over 3 years of experience in training IT courses such as Linux, Azure, Terraform, specifically Azure, Terraform, and cybersecurity. Um, I hold around 15 plus industry leading certifications. All of them are current and valid. Uh, Expertise in Azure administration, identity, security, Terraform, Linux bash scripting, uh, offensive penetration testing, cybersecurity side of things. So the scope of this demo is we'll see the introduction to Terraform, why we use Terraform, basic Terraform workflow, sample demonstration if possible. I'll see, and course outline and questions and answers. You can ask me anything that you would like to. Okay. Uh, so an introduction to Terraform. So what is the purpose of Terraform? First of all, why we need Terraform? We'll then go for the introduction. Now, in cloud, right, let's say Azure, AWS, or GCP, we'll be deploying resources, right? So it's all going to be manual task. Okay, manually you're going to create a VM, manually you'll create app service, manually you'll create SQLDB. There are a lot of manual tasks involved, right? So one VM, fine. Let's say you want to deploy 10 VMs, manual is not efficient. So that's where you need some sort of an automation tool, which is Terraform, right? So that's the purpose of Terraform. Terraform is an infrastructure as code, meaning with the help of code, you deploy the infrastructure. That's what Terraform is. Okay. So it does orchestration. It not just config. It's not going to do configuration management. It does orchestration. It's going to deploy through the help of code. It is going to deploy resources in Azure or whatever platform we talk about. And it can also create immutable infrastructure. And it is kind of easy to understand language. It follows HCL, which is HashiCorp configuration language. It is very easy to use the Terraform providers. You have Terraform plugins providers. Directly, you can use them to deploy in that particular platform. And suppose client only architecture, so it's no need for additional configuration on a machine. So you just deploy it. There are 3 additions to Terraform, like SaaS version, infrastructure as a service version, and community edition. We are going to use community edition of Terraform in our course. Okay, so that is a bit of introduction to Terraform. Why Terraform? We've discussed multi-cloud, multi-provider support. It's a declarative management tool. So a quick example is, this is the example of a Terraform code. Okay, this is how a resource group is created. Very simple code. Comparing to the manual way of creation of a resource group, you will provide a name and you will provide a location, right? That's mandatory. These fields are also mandatory in Terraform. So you provide the values to these fields, and that's it. You are going to, when I run this, it's going to create a resource group. Okay. You have something called state management. Terraform maintains a state of infrastructure. What is that you have defined in your files versus what is there in the real infrastructure, meaning what is there in the cloud, and whatever is the delta, it's going to perform that. Okay, so that is about why Terraform. Basic Terraform workflow. This is the workflow irrespective of the edition that we use. This is the basic Terraform workflow. You will start with Terraform init. What is Terraform init? Terraform init initializes the working directory. Okay. What is working directory? If you see the example that I have, my machine, the tf underscore demo is the working directory. What is a working directory? Working directory is where you have the configuration file. What is a configuration file? The file that contains the code. Simply, the file that contains the code is called the working directory. Okay. So you initialize the working directory. That's the first step, which is going to download the required plugins, okay, for the relevant cloud platform. And then you do a plan. What is a plan? Plan is going to create a deployment plan. What is a deployment plan? Whatever resources that you have, I mean, whatever code that you have for creating the resource. A quick example here is my resource group. So the plan that I'll see here is the plan to create a create a resource group. So plan is simply a execution plan that is going um, to show us the uh, resources that it is going to create, destroy, update, etc. That's what its plan is. So init is the first stage, then plan, then apply. Apply is the stage where your infrastructure is actually applied or created or deleted or whatever, like updates. So apply is the actual execution of your code. And then finally destroy. Destroy is an optional feature, like optional command. You can destroy the resources that you have in the Terraform, like in the Terraform state. Okay. So this is the basic Terraform workflow, irrespective of the edition, SaaS, infrastructure as service, or community edition. The one that I'm showing you is a community edition, the Terraform.exe. This is a community edition. Okay. So I would like to just show you the deployment of the resource group. So before that, I wanted to see if my service principal is there, or I mean, I need to create a client secret. So all this will cover in the course, what I'm doing. Just creating a client secret. Okay, done. So now let me delete all these existing files so that it's going to be clear of what we are doing. I don't need Terraform state. I don't need Terraform backup, and it's all. Let me even delete var. I don't need var. It's not required at this stage. Yeah, and also we can delete outputs.tf. So I just have simple two files here, two configuration files. So any file name that has .tf extension is called a configuration file. So this is a configuration file. Provider.tf is a configuration file. Now in rgs.tf, I have the resource group code, which is going to deploy the resource group. Now the file name can be anything, just that it needs to have the extension of .tf. Provider.tf is going to declare where I've defined what platform I'm going to use, plus the provider features. Okay. And I also need to specify the service principal details, what this Terraform is going to use. Okay. So that's what is written in provider.tf and resource RGS. You can name this any file. This file is going to is having the resource group code, which is going to create the resource group. Now to start with, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do Terraform and then init. Now first, as I said, it's going to execute, it's going to initialize the working directory. So I'm going to execute this. So it is going to initialize. What is meant by initialization? It will first download the required plugins to your local machine. If you look at the second step, installing a HashiCorp Azure version 3.1.3.112. Okay, it's going to install. It will take few seconds to install. And once this is installed, we are good. We can perform, we can do plan, and we can do apply. So this will create a folder here, .terraform, and you will see this plugin was installed, which is this one, 3.1120.x5.exe. If you see my mouse pointer. So Terraform initialization is done. I can now do a Terraform exe plan. So plan is going to tell me what it is going to do. Is it going to create? Is it going to delete? Is it going to modify? So that's those that execution step, that execution plan you can see at this stage. Now what it says, the Terraform will perform the following action. That just before that there is a line called plus create, meaning Terraform is going to create a resource. And wherever you see plus, it's going to create the resource. So basically, Azure RM resource group and dot name will be created. So basically, it says the resource group will be created. And what is the plan says? Plan says one to add. What is this one? This is the resource group that is one, and there is nothing to change. There is nothing to destroy. Okay. Now I can do plan and then apply. Apply is going to ask me, yes, do you want to proceed or no? I have to say yes, and then it is going to proceed. So I'm going to say yes, and it will proceed. Okay. Yeah. So the resource group is created. The resource group name is RJTF demo. If I go to my Azure, let me refresh. Let me refresh just one more time. What is the RGTF is the right one? Let me see. Yeah. You see this resource group that got created. Okay. So this is a course outline, introduction to TF, state management, basics resource group deployment concept, basic resource deployment concepts, creating multiple resources using meta arguments. We'll look at deep dive. We'll do a deep dive on meta arguments, locals and variables, when to use locals, when to use variables, data sources, provisioners, Terraform registry, workspaces, cloud functions, lifecycle meta arguments, and the Terraform modules. Okay, these are broader topics. We have many topics within each broader topic. And you need an Azure free account. You need access to Visual Studio Code, which is what I'm using to deploy the resources. And that's it. Kind of simple demonstration. So yeah, question and answer time. Ask me anything.
So, Santosh, so how long will this course will take to finish up? So, every day 1 hour, and
Yeah, every day 1 hour, correct.
and how long is this a month?
Yeah, it's just between 1 to 1.5 months because we have a lot of concepts to cover. So yeah, it will go for 1 to 1.5 hours. Yeah.
Would you also cover Azure, AWS in this, or just only Azure?
No, only Azure. But what see, what I'm going to explain is cloud agnostic. You can apply that to any cloud anywhere, right? Focus is more on Terraform and less on Azure. Azure is just a platform we're going to deploy, but focus is on the Terraform concepts.
Santosh, so you
Mhm.
will also help us customize the modules as well, not just calling the modules from Azure. Like I saw on one of your earlier slides, you said you're going to help us do, like let's say, deploy multiple storage accounts or deploy multiple SQL
Mhm.
databases. Those kind of
Mhm.
things also you will cover.
Yes, 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 we will. Yeah, yes.
So TerraGrunt is complementing Terraform. It's an overlay on Terraform.
We are not going to cover Terraform. We are only focusing on Terraform.
So the course is totally conducted by you.
Yeah, yeah. I'll take the
And
course. Yeah.
if I opt for getting the your last session, it's also going to be you, or it's going to be somebody else that did the session last time?
Sorry, I'm not getting. What is that? I could not get
Uh,
that question.
if if I were to get the recorded session, would it be
Mm-hmm.
you doing the recorded session of this
Yeah,
time or the
recording.
last?
Yeah, recording sessions you can get from Visualpath team. You will get the up-to-date recordings from them.
Is it going to be you, or is it going to be someone else?
I mean, it will be Visualpath team.
No, no. In the sense, who is going to be the tutor? Would it be you or someone else
That
doing
will be
the?
me. I'm the trainer. Yeah.
Okay, so they're going to give me the last one, or they will give me this one? Because I'm okay
Last.
doing like weekends, but if it is going to be daily, because it's almost midnight for me.
Mm-hmm.
So worst case, maybe I will get a recording of the last session.
Yeah, they'll provide the recording of the last session. Yeah.
Okay, but you have no plans of doing the weekends?
We'll try. I'll see which one is the best one. I'll talk to Visualpath team. But
Okay.
yeah, whatever. Please post your choices to your preferences to Visualpath team. I'll talk to them
Okay.
and get back. Okay.
Sure.